as everyone knows, is healthy. It's a health food. Is it truly a health food? Glucose in a glycemic index is 100. Can you guess what white bread is? Average is about a 70. Instant oatmeal is actually about 83. It's higher than white bread. I bet you have this every single day because you were told by your doctor or by your mom or by your grandmother that this is good for you. And that is oatmeal. Oats, as everyone knows, is healthy. It's a health food. Is it truly a health food? Let me kind of break it down what is oats or oatmeal. So a typical oatmeal will be high in B vitamins. It contains also minerals such as magnesium, potassium. It also contains iron. It contains B vitamin, which I talked about earlier, and contains zinc as well as soluble fiber. And soluble fiber has been known to help to not only to reduce your blood sugar, it also helps to reduce cholesterol. And this is why people think oatmeals are very healthy. When we think about oatmeal is a carbohydrate. So like anything that contains carbohydrate, it will raise your blood sugar. And one of the ways that we know how food is measured in terms of how fast it raises your blood sugar is called glycemic index or GI. It's often compared to a standard value. In this case, they use glucose or sugar as a standard. So glucose in a glycemic index is 100. So anything that's close to 100, you know it's very close to almost like a sugar. Anything that's very low in glycemic index means that they don't break down to sugar very quickly. So if glucose is 100, can you guess what white bread is? Because people always claim white bread is so unhealthy. It can vary depending on which white bread we're talking about, but on average it's about a 70. So if glucose is 100, then white bread is 70. Can you guess what is instant oatmeal is? I bet you probably said it must be lower than bread. And I'm sorry, you're wrong. Instant oatmeal is actually about 83. It's higher than white bread. So here you are eating your instant oatmeal thinking that it's actually better than white bread. I'm sorry. Yes, it still has fiber, but the instant oatmeal is almost like a white bread. It has been stripped of those essential fiber and minerals and vitamins. It's because it's so processed, especially the one that you eat that has flavor, because most people don't eat plain instant oatmeal. Most people eat oatmeal that are like maybe maple flavor or maybe strawberry flavor or any other flavor except for the plain boring flavor that no one eats, right? Because of that, the extra sugar that's added in these instant oatmeal raises the GI value even more. Then you say, okay, aside from the instant oatmeal, how about other oatmeal in comparison? When you do eat oatmeal, and when I list out the benefit of oatmeal, they do consist of all these nutrients, and they are a great food to add to our body to eat so that we can get these nutrients, but the quality matter and the type matter. So we have instant oatmeal, okay? Then we have raw oat or what we call old-fashioned oats. So you see these instant oatmeal, they're like they're flaky, they're like very small pieces. Then we have raw oat, which is the whole piece right there that are flattened. They're about 59, so they are lower than instant oatmeal. So that means they make them a better choice than instant oatmeal and definitely better choice than bread. But the best of all is a steel cut oat. So steel cut oat is one of the lowest and it contains only 42. But an even better choice than steel cut oat, they call oat groat. Yes, oat groat. And these name is because they only remove the husk. Rest of the oats are left intact. So that means it's the least processed. So steel cut oat is pretty much taking the oat groat and cut them into small pieces, and that's why they call steel cut oat. But majority of you probably could not find the oat groat. You can find the steel cut oat, which is still a very good choice because the glycemic index is only 42. Now you know the type of oatmeal matters. But to take the oatmeal nutrient to the next level, I would say to add other things, because although the oatmeal contains carbohydrate, it contains B vitamins as well as minerals and vitamins and fiber, it's still lacking in protein. And yes, it does have protein, but not quite enough in protein. So to make this meal a much more low glycemic impact, first of all, when it doesn't break down that fast, means the blood sugar doesn't rise that fast. But the second of all, keeps you full longer, because don't we want to eat a meal so then lasts us at least 3, 4, 5-6 hours, or do you want to eat a meal and get hungry in 2 hours? I bet your answer is for as long as I can, right? That's why you want to eat meals that keep you satiated. And these are things that keep you satiated. It's called the 3-factor: protein, fat, and fiber. Well, if you choose steel cut oat, you have the fiber. So where does the fat and protein come from? I mentioned earlier my favorite was adding hemp seed, because hemp seed has protein, it also has fiber, and has a little bit fat. That's one way. Another way is what Asian people like to do, and I always recommend people, is to break an egg and mix it in your oatmeal, because it makes it creamy, but at the same time it adds the healthy protein and some healthy fat, because the yolk has some healthy fat in there. Or if you want to make the oatmeal the salty, kind of like the congee way how Asian people have it, you can certainly add some protein in there. Being chicken, being ground pork, ground beef, that can still work, because oatmeal can serve as a congee. Like instead of using rice, you use oatmeal to make your congee or your porridge. To add the extra source of fat, an easy way is what my favorite thing is, to add some healthy nuts. There's maybe some walnut, some pecan, or I can add my pumpkin seed, because the extra magnesium that I can add to it. So these are some examples how to elevate your oatmeal to be the next level of nutritional value. And I will leave you with one last thing, which is very popular nowadays, is the oat milk, right? Nowadays, if you go to a coffee place, instead of order that with coconut milk or almond milk, another, I guess the new favorite or the trendy thing is called oat milk. And this is the question people often ask me. Oatmeal are healthy. How about oatmeal? So as you know, oatmeal, it really depends, because a lot of the oatmeal out in the supermarket actually ranges quite widely, because it depends on what's being used. So I always say check the ingredient, because a lot of them actually use a lot of oil, and a lot of them actually use some sweetener in there. So they might not be so healthy. Oatmeal, when it's made in oat milk, it actually has less fiber. It still has some of the nutrient, but definitely has less fiber, because you need so little oat to make the oat milk. So the nutritional value is much less than eating the oatmeal itself. As you know, I make my own almond milk, so I do also make my own oat milk, which is very easy. All you need was oat and water. That's it. But there are some tips to make a good oat milk, and that is don't soak the oat ahead of time, because it'll make the oat milk very slimy and you don't like that texture. And second thing is using water that are ice cold. Why do you like to use ice cold water? It's because when the water is warm, you cook the oatmeal, so the oat becomes slimy. So, but you don't want a slimy drink. So about a cup of oats to 3 cups of ice cold water, and to add the extra flavor, I usually put a little bit sea salt and 1 majute date, just to elevate the flavor a little bit more. And that is a easy and healthy way to make your oat milk at home, that you can use to put in your oatmeal to enhance the flavor, or in your favorite drink. Okay, so there you have it. I just give you a breakdown of all the different oatmeal that are out in the market, so that you know that not all oatmeals are made equal. So now I'm curious, what kind of oatmeal do you have at home? Please comment below, because I would love to hear, are you a instant oatmeal, or you are other type of oatmeal, and do you like it savory or do you like it sweet? And as always, 食得有型，活得健康。我哋下次再見，拜拜。